G'day mates, welcome back to Pharaoh. Today we're going to be heading into the alternate mission. We're going to be doing number 11, the peaceful mission, which I believe is South Dashur.
Our new Pharaoh, Snofu, is determined that this, the fourth dynasty, be remembered as the greatest ever to rule Egypt. His architects have contrived a tomb even more spectacular than the stepped pyramid of Huni, and Pharaoh wishes you to oversee its construction. You will need to establish a fair-sized settlement south of Dashur, the site for Pharaoh's bent pyramid. Once in place, this city will provide the workforce necessary to complete this ambitious project. The bent pyramid is to be constructed of a plain stone core and faced with fine white limestone, that it may forever shine under the desert sun. You will find sufficient quantities of limestone at Dashur, but you'll need to import the necessary amount of plain stone for this undertaking. Pharaoh wishes that our borders be pushed even further south, and to this end he has dispatched military forces to invade Nubia and to establish a fortified city at Buhen beside the second cataract of the Nile. To the north, Egypt has opened relations with Nkomi on the island of Cyprus. This land is named for its abundant reserves of copper ore, which are now a major import. Precious gemstones may be obtained from a recently established Egyptian outpost at Serabit Kadim in the land of Sinai. Lately, the supply has become erratic, however, due to unrelenting Bedouin and Canaanite attacks against the settlement, and we are uncertain how much longer the Egyptian forces stationed there can withstand them.
Okay guys, this is the part of the mission for the one we did last time down at Buhen. We are pretty much going to be doing a big building thing. I don't know if there's much military involved in this one or not. It has been a long time since I've done it. But this bent pyramid that they talk about here, quite an interesting thing. It actually does exist in real life. We're not entirely sure why it's bent. So you'll see it when I build it, but it goes up and then the angle changes at the top. And what they think it is that originally it was building up too steeply and that it would collapse under its own weight. It wouldn't have had the weight to support itself if they'd kept going up at that original angle. So they had to make it a little bit more shallow and come to a lower peak. But anyway, we're going to see it when we get in there. Let's head on in. And slow time right down. Okay, let's have a quick look at this. We've got a little bit of farmland. We may be able to double some things up here. It's not spectacular, but it's not bad. We've also got what appears to be, you can see on the mini-map out here, really hard to see, but I think it's over here, is the fertile ground. We can actually do some meadow farming of grain and barley. There's a fair bit out there, so we could have a little, I suppose we'd have a little housing block out this direction as well. And there's even more meadow farming down here. So we have a fairly good choice of where we can build. We can build out here one, probably a couple here. The thing I don't like is that it's very sort of shallow water, that the water table doesn't go out very far, which is unfortunate because all this beautiful land out here, I could throw down a whole bunch of housing blocks and not going to happen until we can get water to them. And of course we have to cross the Nile. Yes, there's no stone on this side. We do need to cross the Nile to get any of this beautiful limestone. Yep, okay. Bring the limestone from over there. What other raw resources do we have? We can do barley. There appears to be no clay again, but we can import a lot of things we need by the looks of it. And quick check of the gods, and yeah, apathetic. Most of them are pretty basic. There's only 3 of them. This is a pretty easy mission, all things considered. So I'm going to go prepare my little housing block as normal, and I'll be back when I'm done that. Okay, this is the setup that we're currently going for. I've tried to leave myself with a little bit more space over here so that I can expand out the food and various industry and whatnot. Originally I was going to put it down here, but that is going to get very messy very quickly, especially considering that there are a lot of water trade routes on this particular map. So if I can keep this for more of an industry area, especially with barley and stuff growing down here, we may be better off that way. And here we go, food is coming in. It should be a fairly solid amount. Actually, I've got to set this to a getting warehouse. It's a fairly solid amount of food. No, it's not. It's a hell of a lot less than I thought it was. That's a bit of a bummer. I know why, because they all drowned, because I forgot to hook that up. That is very, very bad planning on my part. So we are going to have a year with no food, simply because I forgot to hook that up, and the majority of the farms weren't covered. I have also done a couple of barley farms up there that you can't quite see. No doubt that will... it's a little bit messy. It's not my best work, but we will get there eventually. I'm going to have to start working on cash. I've already gone into emergency money once, and what we can do is actually export quite a lot by water. One route. We can go barley, beer, linen, and limestone. We can get the flax from down here in Abu by water trade route as well. So we can keep everything nice and localized. So I'd like to get the dock set up. But it's going to have to be somewhere where I can also cross the river. Alright, this really is insufficient barley, especially considering that we lost a lot of fertility because I placed it down before the flood. It was bad timing on my part. But we got basically 2 good looking farms here, and one's 70%, one's rubbish, 50%. So we've got a couple of farms there. That is going to kickstart our barley industry, but we're really going to need to actually start tapping into the fertility, the fertile meadow down here. And that is where I'm going to put down a couple of farms when I get more money. Although if we're going to dip into negatives, I may as well go all the way. Out of money, there we go. Let's go all the way. In for a penny, in for a pound. We're going to throw down a hell of a lot more barley farms right here. Okay, now that we're short of employees, we're going to have to go into a bit of a feeding cycle here. I think... Thank you. No inundation. That is not good. Definitely going to have to get Osiris on board here. It's going to be a bit of a struggle though, because we haven't got any cash. But we've got now the bazaars set up to hopefully grab the food, and that will fix our little desirability. It's a pain in the ass. That will fix our problem. Pharaoh requesting good, 1,000 grain. Not really something we can actually provide right now. Pharaoh, unfortunately, I think this is going to be a failed request, because I quite frankly am not getting the floods I need. That does give me, though, an opportunity to probably start tapping this farmland up here. So we've got... Yeah, beer exports are what's keeping us afloat at this point in time, although we're not getting very much of it. Let's have a look here. Medium has bought as much beer as they're going to. Who else will buy beer? That is the question. You'll buy beer as well, so unfortunately we have to spend more money just to export whatever we can. We are really struggling with the export limits on this particular mission. It's not a good one. And unfortunately Ptah just destroyed one of our storage yards with all our cash in it. We are not going well. We can't spend any more money, which means I'm going to have to set this one to accepting beer as well. We are really not in a good position right now. You can accept a little bit of beer that we should be able to export when required. And here we go, debt anniversary number 1. We have got most of the way out of the hole, so things are looking a little bit better. 1,000 demons. Oh, I really just do not have the cash, mate. Yep, not looking good. Okay, I managed to get the gold demon amount dispatched, but the grain one is not going to make it, not by a long shot. Quite frankly, we really need the gods to pick their act up, because these are so completely not fertile that it's almost not worth a labour anymore at this point. Okay, that last flood was a little bit better, so most of our edge farms are now in a better position than they were before. We have a little bit of cash in the bank, mostly through limestone sales and beer as well, doing a lot of the value. Barley is actually it's actually more valuable than limestone as an export, but we're just not able to grow enough. Wages fall, even better. We're just not actually able to grow enough of the barley. The farms just are not performing quite near what they want to do, near what they need to do, what I want them to do. I'm thinking of expanding over here, but quite frankly that would involve a fair bit of money, and I'm actually more inclined to begin working and clearing where are we? Clearing space for the monument. Now the big bent pyramid, I was hoping it could go right there, but where are we going to put this one? That is the question. Again, I'd like to keep it built into the city if at all possible, but that doesn't look like it is going to be possible at all. I'd have to destroy that and... Alrighty, everything is well sorted now by the looks of things. We've got a little farming district over here, which is going to be where we're going to get our final population bit from. It's our third housing block. They will be supported eventually by these farms, or these farms are going to be feeding into a central one, and they'll all be able to pull from that central area there. Hopefully if we get enough food in this time to really get things looking nice. And as you can see here, in the non-farming season, all the workers are coming over, and we're setting up a beautiful little area here. Quickly want to actually dispatch 1,000 grain. I know it's not really a good idea to do it just now, but I'd like to keep Pharaoh's opinion of us up high, simply because it was down to 29 at one point, and we did get 64 bits of plain stone, which is what solidified me that we really need to start getting this thing built now. So these guys are going to be setting it up in here. We're going to need to get the limestone. Actually, that's probably close enough. And the plain stone here as well. We're going to need to buy and import that in. So everything is looking nice. This is pretty much built into the city. It will be overlooking all these temples and everything. So things are hopefully going to go very well. Okay, construction has begun. The work crews are pouring in and laying it down. So what they do is they put all the limestone around the outside and the plain stone goes into the center. There you go, have all that grain. I've got loads of it. So we don't need to import more plain stone. We cannot actually quarry it here locally. So it's going to require a mixture of both. Question is, where do we get plain stone from? It is available for import. So 200 blocks is more than sufficient. We'll never get that high. Question is, where? You are appearing to be a water route. Okay, that is... So what I think we're going to do here is throw down a storage yard right there. Now you're only going to accept plain stone. And what these two over here are going to do is... Actually, it doesn't really matter, does it? They're not that much closer to the front entrance, so may as well just leave it there. We've got 3 things accepting plain stone, but as it comes off the boat, we can get quite a bit of it in one go. 4,000 Debans requested by Cerebit Cadium. That is not good. I don't think we are going to get anywhere even close to that. Yep, we're ducking into debt already, simply because the plain stone we're buying is reasonably expensive. So what we're going to do is actually stop importing the plain stone for the time being and just focus on our new export, which is going to be linen. I can import flax and export the linen via water trade route, so hopefully that will tide us over. I'm actually probably going to be better off as well if I export the limestone again, and I'm going to be here for a while. So yeah, we are struggling a little bit. We can't really sell that many things, and they're asking for a lot of cash. They will give us, I believe, a lot of plain stone if we can get there. I don't think we are going to make it though. And here we go, another 4,000. We've got 2 years to comply with this one. The previous one we did fail, mainly because our cash is gradually creeping up, very, very gradually. What I'm probably going to be better set to do is actually start taxing my people a little bit. That will hopefully provide us with a bit of cash. Okay, we've made it, 4,000 Debans. I'm going to send this one off, and we're going to duck down very briefly into debt almost immediately after that, I suspect. Looks like we've sold all the beer and everything we can, even though it's only May. This is a real struggle, this particular mission. Well, this mission has basically lost all challenge now. The real challenge really is the fact that because each export has such a small total cap on how much you can bring out, you really need to diversify the economy very, very quickly. Coupled with the fact that early on I was getting absolutely terrible floods, meant that I struggled feeding my people and producing enough of the barley for vital beer exports. So now I can export barley, I can export limestone, I can export the beer as well, the product, and I can actually import flax and all that as well, and together, combined, they actually give me enough money to really just keep on trucking along. I'm importing the granite over here gradually. I will need 32 of those for the burial provisions, probably for the granite casket that they talk about. And of course, over here everything is going nicely. I've basically hit the population, so this mission is as good as won. All I need to do now is wait for the monument to finish, and we'll be very good. We'll be sitting pretty. Okay, we can see here where the bent pyramid is coming in. So it was going up fairly steep, and it's now actually begun to sort of gradually. The angle is a lot shallower, as it's going to go up to a point around about sort of up here somewhere. So again, as I mentioned in the early briefing, they think it's because the sheer weight of it. This was one of the first pyramids, or one of the first sort of true pyramids they were trying to do, and the angle was just a little bit too great. It's gone up and all the stone base just wouldn't have been strong enough, and the theory is they recognised that, and so they did have to actually change the shape of it. And here they are, they've basically finished the pyramid, and what they do is they're going around and they're chipping off all this outer limestone to make a beautiful shiny pyramid surface underneath. So gone are the stepped pyramids. These ugly stepped things are going to be gone forever. From now on, it's all beauty from here on out. And here we go, finishing off the final little bit. And all done, the bent pyramid is finished. It is a funny looking pyramid, isn't it? But really beautiful, that shining in the sun. You can really see why these are... This is what the pyramids used to look like. The modern day ones have actually had the limestone stripped off them. But there are little traces of the limestone left on them. So these the pyramids now, you think of these big brown, ugly monstrosities. They actually did used to have this beautiful white limestone layer on the outside before it was stripped off in the intervening several thousand years. Now what I'd like to do is throw in... It's actually a large statue. Really like to just finish off. There we go. We finished off our little beautification thing, and this is fully built into the city. There we go. And I've got room up here to continue expanding. Again, probably not going to bother with that. How about we move straight on to the Victory? All we need to do is dispatch all of that stuff. And let's go onwards to Victory.
Pharaoh commends you. The bent pyramid you constructed in his honor is magnificent and outshines any monument built in the past.
There we go, the first bent pyramid. What a fun little mission that was. Again, not hugely challenging once you've been established. The early part was a little bit difficult. I did struggle making money early on, but I suppose the trick is to just bite the bullet, accept that you may well go into debt, and just use that line of credit. You've got 5,000 Debons worth of negative credit to actually use and build up with that and continue expanding your money-making industries. No point moving on to the pyramid if you can't make any cash to support it. Anyway, guys, I've been BLXZ. This has been Pharaoh. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button if you're actually enjoying all these Pharaoh videos, because next episode we're heading into North Dashur and we'll be doing something bigger and better than the bent pyramid.